Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Blokes, Bills and Shed Talks from 1980 Studio Aerodyne. So this will be the last one for the year, I reckon. It's been a few weeks again since I did the last one. I've been a little bit slow. I'm trying to keep up with it. I've been pretty busy. Chipping away at this paint job, which is going very steadily. It's 3 steps forward and then 2 back as I get runs in the paint, and different things. Not having a booth, not being a painter is probably the biggest challenge. Before I get too far into the paint job, I gotta say I probably have done what most Aussie boats do, most probably boats all around do, is I started painting about 30 years ago. I painted a few trucks and a few tires and stuff, I just learnt myself watching a few boats do it, bought a spray gun and away I went. And, with varying degrees of satisfaction over the time, but since I took on this paint job on this GT and hoping it to be a show car, because I've rebuilt everything on it and took everything out, so it's a complete paint job. I wanted to get it right, and I've made a few stuff ups, and I was getting a bit frustrated with it all, and I thought, I bought a brand new spray gun. I think I mentioned that last time, which helped. Only because probably the spray gun was set up probably the way it should be. I don't know how to set up the spray gun. There's a few little adjustments here and there, well, pretty major adjustments really, and I've never actually really learnt where they should be. So I've only just experimented with them over time, air pressures and so forth. So I thought, we've got YouTube these days, because I didn't have YouTube back then. So I did a few little YouTube clips on how to set your spray gun up, and found out I've been doing it wrong. So I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, as much as I'm looking forward to it. The weather has been very ordinary since we got off. I'm bloody sweating. It's humid as now. We've been getting rain, big storms every day, which floods out my shed every day. So the drainage is a bit of an issue when it rains really heavy, so I've got to sweep it out and wait for it to dry. So I can't paint in that kind of condition, so that's off the card at the moment. Hoping for it to fine up down the track so I can get this finished. I haven't got that much to go, so I've just been working on panels and so forth and trying to get everything up to speed. I've only got really the front bumper and the rear bumper to do in major sections, and then a bit more clear. So that was a bit of a thing, getting the directions on how to do it after you've been doing it for probably 30 years. So hopefully that's helped. I'll let you know next time. Work's been good. We've finished being about 4 days ago now. The mine shut down over Christmas now, fully, waiting on approvals for the new pit, which hasn't been slow for them to come through, and that's probably the reason why we've been on capped tonnages for so long, trying to spread it out a bit. But on the last shift, last swing, they took the caps off all the tonnages and let us go for it, so probably trying to get a few tons on the ground, which was nice to be back in the groove and just cruise through the night, going best you can for the night. And I had a good night my last night. A few of the boys, Shana and the boys, they had to fly out early, so there was only a couple left on my swing that got to do the whole shift that night, and I started out the front and got my fall down and got back to the go line and had a good night. So that was a nice way to finish the year. So we don't go back now until the 6th of January. We've got a full swing off. Our work's been really good to us. We're all on permanent now. We have been for quite some time. So we've got holiday pay and accrued hours built up, so we're all taking some of our holiday paying hours to cover our swing for the one we have off, which is nice. So that's pretty much work done. Everything at work been going good. I've been going to the gym, trying to keep the body going, my back too, because it's got 45 years worth of truck driving behind it, so trying to stretch it out, and I intend to work out there for as long as I can. I'm hoping to go another 5 or 6 years if I can, just to keep all the projects ticking over. And it's going to take that long to build this Aerodyne the way I'm going. Maybe a bit quicker. I've got a few friends going to give me a bit of a hand, I reckon, so I'll probably need it. I'm going to get Michael into when he's got a bit of spare time to give me a hand as well. So I've got the forklift here now, so to lift off the heavy parts. It'll be a cab off. It's the only way we can do it, is to take the cab right off and get into the chassis, and because we're changing out that engine, taking the 3406 cat out and putting the 3408 cat in, and stretching out the chassis a bit longer and putting that air glide in. So it should be pretty long. 4 tanks plus the air start tank, so nice wheelbase, that's what I reckon. Probably not that practical, but hey, it's just sweating in here, very hot. Yeah, nice wheelbase. Like I said, not real practical, but it's a show truck at the end of the day. And so that's where we're up to. What else has been happening? Probably not that much, really. Just the painting and working away. Going to the gym. I was going to mention that. It's interesting. All the young fellas, I haven't been to a gym since, 1977. I think I went to the Viking Health Centre in North Mackay. I think it was about the last time I ever went to a gym, so it was a bit different back then because mobile phones hadn't been invented. And the young fellas at the gym out there, it's good air conditioning, but they get on the machine and they sit there and they do a few reps, and then they get on their phone. The whole lot of them do it and sit there looking at their phone for 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh, can I use the machine, please, mate? And so, yeah, it's that's an interesting thing that I've never struck before. So, but that's how they all do it these days. So you can't be away from that phone for too long. Well, I can't say. I'm probably just as bad, but I don't do it. I leave it in my locker when I go in there and just get it done and get out. So that was an interesting thing I noticed. Holidays coming up. I'm trying to get a bit of work done. The 2 trucks got sold. Joey came and picked them up, which was great. We sorted it all out. I've got my motorbike back, my Rocket 3. Needed a bit of work. Had been sitting around for a while, so I put it into the shop and got new tyres, 2 new tyres, full service and a few other bits and pieces. Needs a bit of loving, but that's all good. So I'm getting it all sorted out. I should pick it up on Friday. I'll probably take it for a ride or 2. I don't know whether I'll ride it much, though. My shoulder's not that flash, so I'll probably end up just selling it, but we'll give it a try, see how it goes. Still got my helmet, dusted it off, and yeah. So the bike's here now, and the 2 trucks are gone. I'm going to sell that EL Falcon station wagon I've got out the back, just as a project car, trying to thin them out a bit more. I did put the Cobra 540 up for sale. I had one bloke pretty keen, and I've had second thoughts on that now. I'm thinking I might keep it. I'd like to do it, just to build a car from sort of scratch. It'd be a fun thing to do. Whether I get time or not, that's the story. So anyway, at the moment I've taken it off the market and I'm just going to sit on it for a while. Although if someone comes along and offers me some ridiculous money for it, well then maybe I'll let it go, because there's only one of 36 of them in the world, so it's quite a rare and unique car. So I'll just sit on that one for a while and see how the time frame pans out. I've had the GT out a couple of times. Took it out with Michael last Sunday. He rang me on Sunday morning. Oh, Dad, it's nice and sunny. You want to go for a coffee before I go back to work? I had a look outside and I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. So I got it out and we went and picked him up and we went out to the harbour and and the storm came in, and probably looking back, I should have just went to the pub and had a few beers and waited for the storm to go and the road to dry out, and then I wouldn't have got stuck in it. But we did. Michael was driving, and it rained and rained. And so the GT got christened pretty big time. All underneath got wet. I was a bit devo there for a minute because it's the first time it had ever been wet. And so, yeah, I do know all that spray and shit. But anyway, life goes on. And I brought it straight home, put it in the shed, jacked it up, took the wheels off, soaked the hole underneath of it, got underneath there with a sponge, sponged it all down, dried it all off, cleaned it all up, polished all the wheels, and put them all back on. So it looks pretty good. It'll never be quite the same, one of those things, you know. But it's looking pretty good again. So I put it back under the cover before long, and I'm going to service my red ute ready for the trip to Brisbane to go down and see my team, the boys and Jen and the Grandies, JJ and Raffy. So it's Grandad Fast Car's time to hit Brisbane for Christmas. So I'm sort of psyching up for that and getting ready for that. Service my ute, I'll put some tyres on it and get it ready to go. I'll take the red one because it's got the canopy. It's easy, handy to put stuff in, and if I have to sleep there, that's somewhere to camp. I'm dropping in at Rocky on the way down, stay with my mate Chris. I'm buying some of his old trailers. That's where my drop deck's coming from. So we're just going to sort that out. And I'll bring that home sometime next year. It's a triaxle drop deck. That's a Stell. I've also bought his old flat top, 40-foot flat top, and I intend to section the decks up into 2 6-metre lengths and have the back deck so it tilts. So when I drive my cars up onto the bottom deck, I can tilt the deck up and make the angle of attack better, so that I don't bottom them out because they're pretty low when I put them on. So that's part of the plan. So dropping in to see Chris in Rocky and sort the trailer out and trailers out, and then probably go to Stanthorpe to see my auntie quickly, and then back to Brisbane for Christmas. And then after Christmas, going to shoot up and see one of my work buddy Shano, and catch up with him up at Nanango, and then back home, and hopefully I'll get a few days, maybe the weather's fined up by then, and get a little bit of painting done before I go back to work. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So, but this humidity is pretty heavy at the moment, so I'll jet back down out of the truck now and we'll quick walk around. I've waffled on here for long enough, so there's the old dash, the old 80 mile. I love all them gauges, they're cool. So I'll get out, try not to drop it, and fall out, whatever, and have a quick walk around. So just bear with me for a sec while I hop down. Oh. Oh, there we are. Jeez, it's hot now. So the shed's a bit empty. I've got a problem with drainage here. So where that floor is wet, it floods in from the outside because the drainage needs something to be looked at, but that's something that'll have to happen down the track. I've got this bonnet ready to put the clear on. I haven't done it yet because I had to do my YouTube course in setting up my spray gun to spray clear. So it's looking pretty good. It'll be good when the clear goes down and I can sort of finish it off. It gives you a bit of an idea where we're at. Got the hole in the bonnet where the shaker goes. A few little bits and pieces there, a little bit of detail, just to liven it up a little bit. So that's waiting on the clear, and hopefully I did a good job since I've done my YouTube course on setting up my spray gun. Working on the rear bumper, had to section out the holes for the exhausts because BA's only come out with a single exhaust, and I'm putting twin exhausts on it, so I had to change the rear bumper around. Had a little bit of damage, so I've had to pull the mounts off and resurrect a few things and tidy a few things up, but I like to get everything back to square one before I start painting and putting it all back together. The front clip's been done. That's the one up there. It's ready for paint. It had a massive hole in it from where it had a toe ball go through the front of it, and then it damaged that front panel, that trash panel, which I've replaced. So all the main bodywork's done now. It's just a matter of getting it all tidied up and getting that clear on without having runs in it. So hopefully I've got to work on my technique. That'll be next, which I don't know that much about. Probably should have done a YouTube course on technique as well, but maybe I will. The boot lid's in here. It's ready to have some clear on it as well. That's just the inside. It wasn't painted on the inside, but I wanted to paint it all so it was all nice and tidy. And when it came, it was a roughie when I got it, as I've mentioned before, very rough. But I've straightened everything out, and there's a felt that goes inside the boot lid here, cover all them holes up, and I was looking for one everywhere. They're not easy to get. Most old Falcons, that felt was gone for whatever reason, and it was gone on this one, and the ones I've got two others here, and it was gone. But my mate Brendan, who's a Holden man, but he's got a few Fords as well, had one, and he was very generous to give it to me. So I've got a nice, straight, good boot felt to go on the end of that boot lid once I finish that boot. So in here, not much has really happened apart from jacking the red rocket up and having it all washed down underneath and sponged, and it was pretty happy to have its underbody massaged and rubbed down. So I gave it a little bit of a clean up, and it's ready to have its cover put back on. I won't get it out again this year, I wouldn't reckon, so it should be ready for next year for a run or two here and there. I'll probably put it in the Mackay Rod and Custom car show. I've booked it in with Adam, so that'll probably be one of the first things I'll do next year, and get this other one finished. I'm working on a few bits and pieces with the GT. With that one, what I noticed when I was underneath it, the front sway bar rubbers were buggered again. It's the third set, and why it is the because it's lowered a fair bit. The sway bar is on a very steep angle where the little link arms go, and to get it right, you have to shorten the sway bar lengths up a long way, and that puts the angle of the sway bar lengths pretty acute, and it chops out the rubbers. So I'm going to manufacture a little bracket so I don't have to drill any holes in the body, and move the sway bar forward a bit, about half a hole, and that should take a bit of pressure off the rubbers. So hopefully this new set of rubbers lasts a bit longer. Also, I've got a couple of new bump stops going for the front, which is one broken, because when it bottoms out, it hits the bump stops, and they're a bit old and fragile, so one got broken the other day. So I've got a couple of new bump stops coming for that as well. This here is the frame. It's the frame for my saddlebags off the Rocket, and it's broken. It's there, probably you can see it. It's there. So I've got my trusty oxy welding tip out, and I'm going to oxy weld that up, and hopefully that does the job. I learned to oxy weld when I was an apprentice, because I don't think they invented MIGs back then. So bit of work on the Rocket to get it going and back up to speed. I've made these little caps for the hubcaps on the new mags, on the Vitinis, They've come up pretty tidy. That's the little tap there. So got little GT emblems I bought off eBay, and they're specially made for the new Vitinis. So that should be a true little detail that will go in the mags when they're all on. I've got them now. Got a nice set of gold Vitinis to match that blue. What else has happened? Not that much. It's only been probably 3 or 4 weeks since I did my last clip, so trying to find something to talk about, which I probably don't know. 20 minutes, jeez, I've waffled on fairly well. So it's all ready, still mastering up stuff. It's probably a fetish I've got, I don't know. I just don't like getting overspray on anything, so every time I stuff something up I remaster it all, and hopefully I get it right that time. That door's ready for clear as well. So once that's down, we can let it go off, and that will be ready for a buff up. And then I can start bolting stuff back on it. That was the, if I can show you, that was that front trash panel, and that's what it looked like when I took the bumper bar off. That's where a tow bar had gone. So, like I said, she was a bit of a roughie. She's had work done on the back here as well. But I've got everything nice and straight and tidied up now. And this is the diff cradle. I've replaced all the bushes and painted it all. New seals, new CV shafts, new brake hoses, and painted all the calipers and everything on it. So it's not far off getting ready to put back in. I did put a new clutch in this one as well, in the BA. Last time Michael was home, which was great of him to come and give me a hand. The old clutch was seized up, and some people say, oh, you can unseize them by just driving it, But I thought, nah, I'll just replace it. The throw-out bearing and everything is on the inside. So I got a whole clutch kit, and I'm glad I did now. We replaced it. The flywheel was a bit average. So I've got the flywheel machine, thanks to David, my old mate David Goda. He gives us a hand with that. And that gearbox is all back in now, all painted and clear and all shiny. So that's back in, so it's ready to start putting stuff back in now. Once this paint is sorted. So like I said, I might have to do a YouTube clip on how to actually use the spray gun properly. But yeah, at least I know how to set it up. That's a start. I've watched them. Doesn't look that hard. But anyway, probably that's all about this happening in the shed for a bit of a yarn for this year. I'll keep it up next year. I'll do one once I get back and get the first swing over, which will be sometime in January. I probably won't go down to Chewy next year, the old Chewy rocks. It's a fair trip, just for a show and shine, so be nice, but trailing that car that far, it's a bit of a worry actually, if you don't have a proper tow vehicle. So, and I don't like asking Stevie J for use of his car all the time, but he comes in handy whenever I do need a hand, so that's been great. So that's about it for this year I can think of. So I'll post this up when I get down to the pub, because I can't do it at home because my Wi-Fi or my Telstra freaking service is pretty trapped, and I have to go down to the pub and use their Wi-Fi to upload it. So I'll do that later. I'll do it to go to the pub anyway. So that's it. So looking forward to getting the BA finished, getting the bike back up to roadworthy and shiny spec, so polish the wheels and everything on it and get it all nice and shiny and take it for a spin. And then getting into this Aerodyne. And we'll just have to see how things roll here in the shed when that comes up. I'm expecting that to be another 2 or 3 months. I've got to have that BA done by June or earlier if I can. So I have to get my finger out and get back into it. So thanks for having a look, everybody. I appreciate you having a look and making a comment here and there. It's all good. I'll keep doing it, and we'll see what next year brings. So this is Blokes signing out from Blokes, Bills and Shed Talks for the year. See you later, everyone. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a safe travel wherever you're going, because the roads are a bit ordinary. That's the state we live in at the moment. And I shall see you all next year. Bye. Big love, bye.